You are correct. Let me record that there. Now, is there a countdown? Is there something that tells us how long we've been on here? I know we've only got, like, we're trying to keep it to 30 minutes here, just to respect everyone's time.
It will give us a 5 or 10 minute warning when we're that close to ending.
Okay. Well, I'm recording it so I can post it later. Let me go ahead and introduce myself then. My name is Gina. I'm coming to you live from Moyock, North Carolina, and we're here to talk about essential oils and specifically Young Living and what is so awesome about it. Just wanted to let you guys know that we have 5 kids here in our house, hardly ever any illnesses or sicknesses, resolved lots of ailments and things like that. And we have actually gotten rid of all of our toxic cleaning supplies and medicines and things of that nature. Complete cabinet makeovers, and so that's kind of one of my goals for all of you watching now, and those of you that have kits and those of you thinking of getting kits, is to just eliminate some of those toxins in your home that are making you sick without you even knowing what's going on. And so I have a very special guest tonight. Her name is Kirsten, and she has actually helped over 2,000 families get started with essential oils and eliminate toxins from their home. And she's got 5 kids herself, and they live in a very confined space, a very awesome space, a converted school bus, I must say I'm envious of. And they haven't had any illnesses in 4 years, so how does that happen, right? She was actually able, I love you, you're smiling, retired her husband from working, and together they travel all over the United States in their beautiful school bus, which is how I got to know her, was through her blog and following their school bus adventures. And one day I just reached out to her and was like, what are you doing? And she said Young Living. And so I've been using it for about 7 years, but just kind of came back onto the Young Living boat about 2 months ago via Kirsten. And so I've got her here with us tonight to talk about what are essential oils? Like, what is it? Is it just like smelly stuff in a bottle or what? Kirsten, you go ahead.
Yeah. So, like Gina said, my name is Kirsten McCormick, and Gina and I only met 2 months ago, but we have been chatting quite a lot since then, and so it's been really fun to get to know her. She is so fun and bubbly and just so much good, positive energy. I've just really, really enjoyed getting to know her, and you guys are all so lucky to be her friends and to know her even better than I do. So. But I'm excited because we get to work together now, so she has to talk to me on a regular basis. It's pretty awesome. So my name is Kirsten McCormick, and I started using essential oils about 4.5 years ago. And when I first started, I was using essential oils that I got like at the health food store or on Amazon or wherever I could find them. And it wasn't until a close friend of mine was like, whoa, careful, that particular brand you're using caused my daughter to have an asthma attack, that kind of freaked me out. Because I was like, gosh, I'm doing this to be healthier, and I don't want to cause my children or anyone else's children to like have more health problems. And so I did a whole bunch of research, and what I found was that not all essential oils are created equal. And we're going to teach you a little bit about that in the class and how to choose good quality essential oils and the different grades of them and everything. But in the last 4.5 years, we have not had to go to the doctor for a sick visit. That doesn't mean that we never get sick. It just means that I have this amazing superpower as a mom that I can like keep my family really healthy, and when something happens, I have an immediate first response that I can just keep everyone healthy. So yeah, we're just going to dive right in. I have notes that I'm looking down at, so if you see me look down, it's because I'm referencing my notes. I can be really long-winded, and I don't want to subject you guys to like 4 hours of me talking a lot, so I'll look at my notes to keep myself on track. So most people have either used essential oils or heard of essential oils or know somebody else that uses essential oils, and they've become really popular, but that doesn't mean that everyone knows what they are. Most people think they're just something kind of smelly that, it might smell good, but what is it? Is it like a perfume? How does it work? So basically, essential oils are the most powerful part of a plant. They are like the plant's blood. They work similarly in our bodies as they do in a plant. So in a plant, they are traveling throughout the plant, delivering oxygen and nutrients to the different parts of the plant. If the plant gets cut or attacked by bugs or something, the essential oils in the plant are rushing to the scene to help with the healing process, and they can work very similarly in our bodies. They're distilled down from like shrubs, flowers, leaves, resins, whatever part of the plant has the most therapeutic properties. That's the part we distill to get the oils out of. Oils consist of over 100 different natural organic compounds. And in humans, they actually can provide support for all of our different body systems. So there's oils that help with our immune system, our respiratory system, our digestive system, our excretory system, our hormones, all the different parts of our body that need to work in sync. Essential oils can help us do that. And it basically what they do is they give your body the tools to do what it needs to do on its own, much like healthy food would. So if you are wanting to work in sync with your body and help your body do its job naturally the way it was created to, then essential oils are a really awesome way to do that. There's about 300 oils in a good kit, but you only need about 10 or 20 to really start taking care of yourself. And you don't have to be an aromatherapist to use them. Usually you can either just rub them topically on the skin, you can inhale them, and then some of them are also great for ingesting or using as food flavoring or as supplements. And we're going to talk about those and the different ones to use for that. So how do they enter and how long do they last? Basically, tests have been shown that they can, when essential oils are inhaled or put on topically, they can reach the heart, liver, and thyroid in 3 seconds when they're inhaled, and they can be found in the bloodstream 26 seconds after being applied topically. And then the expulsion of essential oils takes 3 to 6 hours in a normal, healthy body. So your body does actually process them much like it would food. Essential oils have a long history. We're not going to go into that, but there's actually records of essential oils being used in Egyptian times and mentions of them in the Bible, which is pretty cool. So, do essential oils work? So I've used oils, I've used essential oils my whole life, but really only gotten into using Young Living in the last 4.5 years, and that's when I started using them therapeutically. And before that, I knew lavender smelled good, but I had no idea that you could use it for your skin to help support your skin or for a good night's sleep. Like, I didn't know it had any therapeutic properties. And I used to get my essential oils at the health food store. And I remember at one point putting some essential oils in my kid's bath, and then they broke out in hives. And I was like, oh my gosh, I guess you can't use essential oils on kids. I guess that's not safe. And I had no idea that what my kids were actually responding to. Someone is so cool with their super cool car driving past. I'm at Starbucks, in case you guys are wondering about the background noise. I live in a school bus, and right now my kids are all at home hanging out and watching movies and stuff. But anyway, so I had put the essential oils in my kids' bath. They broke out in hives, and I was like, well, I just can't use essential oils on kids. And it wasn't until I did a lot of research that I found out that essential oils actually can be wonderful for kids, but you need to be making sure that you're using really good quality oils and that they're properly diluted and using common sense. So when
that's those Friday night street racer kids. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was like the drag racing street. So not all essential oils are created equal. There's basically 4 different grades of essential oils that are categories that I sort of put them in. So therapeutic, it's made from pure plant material. It contains no synthetics. It's not distilled at a high pressure or high temperature. It's distilled only at low pressure, low temperature, and in stainless steel only, so that there's no chance of it having any heavy metals in it. Then there's grade B oils. Grade B oils are grade oils that would be put in food flavorings for foods you buy at the store. But they can contain synthetics and pesticides, fertilizers, chemical extenders, carrier oils, things like that. So those still aren't the ones you want to be using for therapeutic purposes. Then grade C oils are perfume oils, and most of these contain adulterated oils, or they have been obtained through using solvents. And so these essential oils are ones that you might find these kinds of oils at the health food store, and they can say, 100% pure, but they might have a carrier oil or alcohol or some synthetic mixed in with them. They can be diluted 80 to 95% with alcohol sometimes. Then grade D is what's called floral water. And this is aromatic only, and it's usually just a byproduct of the grade A distillation, meaning that they take the leftover floral waters from distillation and they bottle that up, and it still smells great, but it has hardly any therapeutic properties left. It's definitely not pure. Grade A is really the only true pure oil, and grade D would be like taking some orange juice out of your refrigerator and then diluting it down 95% with water and then hoping that you're still going to get the benefits of orange juice. Like, you're not even drinking the same thing anymore. So we definitely want to be using grade A essential oils anytime we are looking for a therapeutic benefit.
Right.
So when you're purchasing essential oils, your goal should be to be asking questions like, where are the plants grown? How are they harvested and distilled? Are they being harvested at peak times? And are they using any pesticides or herbicides? You know, when they're distilled, what kind of bottles are they being stored in? Those kinds of things. And you want to make sure it's bottled and then tested that it is pure oil and just plant matter. We don't want anything else in there. And that's one of the things I think that I really love about Young Living is that they have a seed to sale promise, and they only have the plant material in there, and we get all of our oils from our own farms, so we know exactly what's in there. I've had the honor and privilege to visit the 4 farms that we have in North America, and I've been there personally, and I have volunteered on them, and I have helped and been part of the process. And next month, November, I'm actually going to one of our farms in South America in Ecuador to spend a week there. And it's really cool. So if you're the kind of person that loves to go to the farmer's market and buy produce from a local farmer, this is the equivalent of buying produce from the local farmer. These are the way you can get essential oils that are from farmers that really take care in the product that they're making. Okay, let's see. So why would essential oil companies sell their oils more cheaply? Because I get asked this a lot. People ask, you know, why can't I just go to Walmart and buy, you know, a $5 bottle of frankincense there? Or why can't I just go to the health food store and buy that great big huge bottle of lavender for $5? And the answer is that they make more money when they dilute it down. If they're only using 5% pure oil and they dilute it 95%, their profit margins increase by 95%. And because there's no governing agency checking to see if it's pure on the consumer end, they have no reason to make it pure. Their bottles, it usually says, you know, do not ingest or do not use externally. It usually has warning labels on there saying that don't use it for therapeutic purposes, but people don't bother to read it, or I don't know why. But you need to follow those labels. If it says do not ingest or not for external use, like, follow those instructions, because that means the company themselves know that it's not safe. It takes a great deal of work to produce a tiny amount of essential oil. It takes 60,000 rose blossoms to provide 1 pound of rose oil. Lavender is a little bit more abundant than rose. It takes 220 pounds it's going to provide 7 pounds of oil. Jasmine flowers must be hand before the sun becomes hot on the very first day they open, thus making it one of the most expensive oils in the world. It takes 8 million hand-picked blossoms to produce 2.2 pounds of oil. A sandalwood tree must be 30 years old and 30 foot high before it can be cut down for distillation. And the beautiful thing is that when you have a pure essential oil, a little bit goes a really, really long way. So most oils are $10 to $30 a bottle. A 5 ml bottle contains about 90 drops, and a 15 ml bottle contains about 250 drops. And each application is 1 to 3 drops. So that means even a tiny bottle is going to give you 90 applications. That means that it's only pennies per use, which is really amazing when you compare that to how much people fork out, you know, when the doctor tells them to go get something. So it's amazing. Our Thieves Cleaner is made of plants, and it only costs about $150 a bottle to make. And you can't get organic cleaner at the store for $1.50 a bottle. You're going to pay at least $4 a bottle if you're going to go to like the green organic section in the grocery store. So yeah, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Gina, and Gina talk about safety and are they safe and how to use them safely. And I'm going to mute myself in case any more racers come down our street.
Okay. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about safety with our essential oils here. There are a couple oils, specifically citrus oils, that are what we call photosensitive. So you wouldn't take orange or lemon essential oil and like rub it on your arms and then go out in the sun. It can cause some irritation. For the most part, they're super sensitive as far as not causing any adverse reaction. But a little bit of common sense on that note. And we say to dilute your essential oils in a carrier oil, especially if you're using them for the first time. You're not sure how you're going to react. Carrier oil is something like olive oil or coconut oil, something that's going to spread that drop of essential oil over your skin. And especially with children, you want to dilute 3 to 4 times that. So if you have 1 drop of lavender, you want to use, I don't know, 12 between 12 and 20 drops of a carrier oil to spread that to use on a child. And other things like, don't put peppermint oil near your eyeballs. Okay, it's going to give you like a burning sensation, and so things of that nature. Just like any medication, you wouldn't take Bengay and smear it across your eyelids and expect not to be running for the sink. The flip side of that question, are essential oils safe, is your sunblock or your face cream, your moisturizers, what you're washing your face with, what you're cleaning your shower with, is that safe? Okay, so you're breathing in fumes of the stuff that you're spraying. You have to remember, everything that you spray in your home, everything in your environment, the plugins, the candles that smell good, the cleaner, the bleach, the laundry detergent that's off-gassing in your drawers for 6 to 8 weeks. All these things are affecting your lungs, they're affecting your brain, your nerve receptors. The list goes on and on. So, it can be very overwhelming, but there's hope with the essential oil switchover. I want to let everyone know, there's a little fun fact here that the average woman applies over 300 chemicals a day. Sorry, I'm looking down at my notes too. So it's just so much, and I want to stay on track and get finished because I can talk about this for hours too, Kirsten. The average woman applies over 300 chemicals a day to her body through. So just remember, your soaps that you wash with, shampoo, your conditioner, your moisturizer when you get out, your makeup, your sunblock, your perfume that you're spraying and inhaling, your hair care, your hairspray, it goes on and on. So at least 80 of those chemicals before you even have breakfast. So you get in the shower, and if you add up all those chemicals and all those things that you just used to make yourself all prettied up before you get out there to have your coffee and your breakfast, that's at least 80, which are now 26 seconds after putting them in your bloodstream. Oh, and your tooth. I could just go on and on. So you're brushing in your mouth, and all those chemicals are permeating your gums, going straight into your bloodstream, and then your liver's on overdrive trying to process all that. So let's try to get back on track. I'm going on a tangent, sorry. We want to talk about what comes in the Young Living kit, the oils that come in the kit and what you can use them for. So without further ado, let's dive straight into the kit. I have 11 oils come in the kit. 10 of them look like this. They come in this pretty little thing here. You have a bonus oil. That's Stress Away. That's my favorite. Sad because I spilled half of it. But anyway, frankincense. Okay, frankincense is one of the most expensive oils that come in your starter kit. The starter kit, add everything up, what the starter kit comes out to is about half off. So you really can't beat it. For those of you that already have a kit, like, you're already a step ahead on that. Frankincense is, I use that for when I'm in the shower, when I wash my hair, is I put a drop on my scalp, and then just that aroma and smelling that while I'm washing is just so refreshing. I can't even explain that. And then, so Kirsten, do you want to chime in with, do you want me to go through my list of favorite uses for the oils, or do you want to kind of hit them each as we go?
So for me, my favorite use for frankincense is to put in my facial serum. So I make a facial serum with a jojoba oil base, and I use frankincense and lavender in it. And frankincense is supposed to reduce fine lines and wrinkles. And so I love it. And I feel like I'm at that age where I'm starting to see lines around my eyes and stuff. And so I use my frankincense religiously just to keep my skin looking youthful and
You look gorgeous
yeah.
and glowing. So
So
the next one is lavender. Like, how many uses does that have? Like 150 or something? So I shake it in some Epsom salts, just a couple of drops, and when I bathe my kids, that goes in with them, and it just smells great, and it kind of calms them down a little bit. I add it to my diffuser with almost anything. I have it in there now I've got thieves and lavender and orange going right now. Smells amazing. And then anytime my kids have like a weird, like, I don't, like a little itchy spot or something that's not really a bug bite, and we don't know what it's just like a little dry, I just put a little coconut oil in my hand with a drop, and I mean, just boom, and they're done complaining. So it kind of soothes all those itchies or.
Yeah, I like to use for seasonal respiratory support. So I will either combine it with, I'll do lavender, lemon, and peppermint together, and I'll put that in a roll-on or in a capsule. Or sometimes I will just grab a little bit of lavender and put it on my pinky and put it right at my nose. And that works really, really beautifully for keeping me breathing healthy.
Okay, how about peppermint?
Peppermint, I like to put peppermint in my coffee. I will put peppermint in my water bottle when I'm working out, because it actually, peppermint, when you inhale it and when you drink it, it actually allows you to take deeper breaths. So if you're working out, a really awesome side effect to be able just to breathe more deeply, get more oxygen, and that's going to help your whole workout. So I ingest peppermint a lot.
Yeah. And so my 8-year-old daughter, she was complaining of an upset stomach about a week ago. And she was in her bed and said, oh, my stomach hurts. So she went to the bathroom and she vomited and was having a problem. So I put her straight in the bathtub, and I put a couple drops of peppermint in there, and I dropped one kind of on her back and let it run down her spine. And I'm just saying that she felt much better in about 20 minutes, and she got back in bed and we didn't have any more issues. So I will leave it at that. And so settling the upset stomach for sure, as far as inhaling that and diffusing. Oh my gosh, it smells amazing. It just smells amazing when you add just one drop to anything. And then headaches. Like, there have been times, at our homeschool co-op or wherever, even at the church, someone has a headache, and just the other day she was back in the office, and I came in and I had her put one drop in her hand and kind of breathe it a little bit and kind of put it on her temples, and while I was there talking to her and asked her, so how's your headache doing? She said, much better. I mean, so it's just so much better than popping pills, right?
Yeah.
Citrus Fresh. Did you talk about the peppermint yet?
I did. I interrupted you and started first.
So
Citrus Fresh is like, I think of that one like liquid sunshine, because when you diffuse it, it just smells like so happy, and it makes your house smell clean, even if it's not. So you can kind of like fool people when they first walk in your door, and they're like, oh, it smells so clean in here. And you're like, I know. So
clean. So I have this amazing little miracle bottle of room spray that I mixed up. And it's got a little bit of thieves and some lavender and citrus fresh in there. And I spray it everywhere, all over the rug, over the kids' beds. I mean, just on my bed and everything. It does smells great. And I like to add it to, not that Thieves Cleaner doesn't smell great, and you guys that have a kit already have a sample of it. But when I mix it in the spray bottle, I like to add different scents to my spray bottles, depending on what I feel like, right? So I have like a pine scented one, and one that I did peppermint in. And man, when I'm cleaning with that, boy, that really clears you out. But also a citrusy one, so it kind of gives me options when I'm cleaning. Like, am I in the mood to smell citrus, or am I in the mood to smell pine or whatever? So that smells great when you're cleaning. So I add that to my cleaner in my room spray for sure. And Thieves, let me just tell you, that smells amazing. It's great for cleaning. It's great for everything. I was at homeschool co-op today, and my co-teacher for our anatomy and physiology class for the little ones, she was sniffing, and I said, oh, I gave the old, oh, do you have allergies thing, because I wasn't sure. She's like, oh, I just haven't been feeling well. So Let me tell you, I had to pull it out and I put it in my nostrils. I was thinking of you too when I did that, but I'm just hoping I don't get sick, and so we'll see. But that's kind of my cough germ put on my wrist, so I was rubbing it everywhere. So it's in the diffuser with my lavender now. So what about thieves for you?
Thieves, well, we use it for a lot of things. I make like an immune support foot roll on for my kids that we put on every night. And then if I ever feel anything that I feel like is going to turn into something, I will take it 3 or 4 drops in a capsule for myself, just to nip whatever it is in the bud so that we can just stay healthy. And then I also make like a saltwater and thieves throat spray that I like to spray in my throat that feels really nice.
What? I never thought of that.
Oh, I'm a singer. All the singers do it. So if you want to protect your voice like a singer, then saltwater, thieves, it's awesome.
Whatever keeps the germs away.
Yeah, it's good. And the clove is kind of numbing. So if your voice is tired after you've been singing or yelling or just overexerting your voice, it feels really, really soothing in there.
Awesome. Stress away. Let me tell you, after I wash my hair, which I have to just confess, I only wash it a couple times a week. When I do get out of the shower and it's damp and I wring it with the towel, I put 1 drop and I kind of rub it into my hair, and so it makes my hair smell amazing and it makes me feel calm and all that good stuff. I love that. How about you?
Which one? I'm sorry.
Stress away.
Oh yeah. Oh,
in the kit.
Stress away is my favorite. I like to say it's for like whenever it's inappropriate to drink wine, I will use Stress Away. So like in the grocery store or while driving, or when I'm hanging out with my kids, and just like I just need to chill out a little bit. It's really good because I'm very high energy and my kids are very high energy, and so sometimes we all need to chill out. So I diffuse it dinner time.
Yeah, I can totally relate to the high energy thing. Lemon, I have that actually in my cup. Drop in my ice water right now. I love it like that, and I love it in my diffuser as well. It goes great with anything, whether I'm diffusing thieves or lavender or like clove and cinnamon, whatever. Lemon adds like a nice little twist to it. So I use it a lot in my water and my diffuser mostly.
I like lemon because citrus oils are one of the few substances that can detox our bodies from fat-soluble toxins. So things like petroleum products and BPA and plastics that end up in our body through external exposure will get stuck in our fat cells, and they don't there's no amount of water you can drink that's going to rinse them out. And citrus oils, by adding a drop into your water or your smoothie or whatever, they actually go work and they clean out your cells. They actually digest down petrochemicals and allow them to exit the body. So not only does it taste good, but it's very detoxing and cleansing, and your whole body's going to work better. If your cells are squeaky clean and functioning and communicating with each other in a healthy way, then you're going to be overall more healthy.
Nice. I am making that note right here. Canaway, that's another one in the kit. Love. Oh my gosh. When I work out, if I even just know that I worked out a little too hard and I'm going to be sore, I already rub it like on the shoulders or wherever. Also, bruising pain. Like if you get a bruise, yes. If you bump and get a bruise or like a little cut, now you don't want to put it like in an open laceration, okay? But those kind of injuries where like you banged across the corner or something and it's kind of raw and it's all bruised around it. I found that diluting a little bit, putting it on there and just covering it with something, that really helps take away that stinging feeling.
Yeah, Panaway is one that I made a roll on for my grandmother because my grandmother's really old and everything hurts, and she has a hard time falling asleep at night. She's had so many like knee surgeries, hip surgeries, like so many things that are just really uncomfortable for her. And so I made her a roll on with Panaway and Copaiba together, and she's able to rub that on her feet and knees at night, and it just helps soothe everything so that she can sleep.
Okay, it's funny that you said that because for the Copaiba, which is another one that comes in the kit, I have it as perfect companion for Panaway for inflammation. So yes, that's basically the Panaway and Copaiba together for inflammation and my fluid. I had unexplained, undiagnosed fluid on the knee that they were wanting to drain and inject steroids for and things, and I don't know why I didn't do it at the time. I just kept saying no, like I don't feel comfortable with that without a diagnosis. Anyway, it's gone now. Talk about that later.
Yeah, Copaiba is really good, and officially, per the FDA, we can't say that it's good for inflammation, but I just encourage you to go Google it. Just go Google Copaiba. It's spelled Copaiba, and see what you can find, because this is like a really amazing oil. It pairs well with Panaway for topical usage. You'll notice it has a white label, and all the ones in the kit with white labels are for ingestion. And so Copaiba can also be used in a teaspoon of honey, a drop in some honey for your throat, or you can put it in tea, or you can even rub it on babies' gums when they're cutting new teeth. So it's very, very gentle, and super, super good for helping the body respond to whatever irritations it might be having.
Yeah. So speaking of not being able to say that anything cures anything, there's a wonderful pocket reference. Do you have yours with? Mine is downstairs.
I don't have it with me, no.
Okay.
But
I was just going to show, if one of us had it, to show the cover of it, where you can look it up alphabetically by like what your problem is or what's ailing you, or alphabetically by the oil name. You can say like, I have this Copaiba, what's it good for? And it gives you, the breakdown. Okay, it's back in my bedroom. Okay. But let's talk about, we have Digest and Raven. Those are the last two that come in the kit. So let's talk about some of the uses for that. Digest. Oh, so when my daughter, I'm sorry, what?
I said, which one do you want to do, Digest or Raven?
Yeah, let's do Digest. When my daughter was throwing up last night, it was only once, but yes, when she had her episode and she was in the tub, sniffing her peppermint and taking her soak, I brought her a capsule with 2 drops of Digest in it and had her take that. And I mean, she woke up like good as new the next day. So really, stomach settling amazingness. Like anytime, I mean, it's great for just digestion if you want to just good digestive support. If you got stomach issues and trouble digesting food, I mean, it's fine to take every evening. You can rub it externally on the stomach. But what do you got?
Yeah, when I was pregnant, I actually would put a drop in my ice water every day. And it really helped with the digestive support I needed while pregnant. Because, when you're pregnant, everything's all squished and there's no room for your food, and it can cause all sorts of upset. So I used it every single day while I was pregnant, and it was amazing. And I use it on my kids too, like anytime they have any kind of like occasional tummy ache or gassy or anything, and it works so quickly. My kids love it, and they know to ask for it. They'll just get it out and actually put it on. Like I'll see them, I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, I'm putting Digest on my belly.
Yeah. All right. Well, Raven, can I just tell you? Oh my gosh, I rubbed that in my hair this morning. It smells amazing. It sort of smells kind of like Panaway, but not in time. It doesn't have as strong of a menthol smell. But oh my gosh, I rubbed that all over myself when I got a shower. So I actually did it today. It smells great. What do you have for that?
I love Raven. I make a chest rub out of it to put on my kids in the wintertime. And then I also will massage it on my lymph passages and sinuses. And I love it because if I'm ever not able to breathe through both of my nostrils when I'm going to bed at night, I can get up and rub it on my sinuses, and then I can breathe through both of my nostrils again. And I'm a big fan of that.
Nice. So also, what else comes in our kit? You guys, if you already have the kit, you've probably seen these things, right? And you're like, what in the name of the Lord is that? These little guys are awesome, because if you have a friend that is kind of like, I don't know, they have allergy issues or they're having sore muscle problems or whatever, and you want to give them like a little sample of one of your oils, I would just put 2 or 3 drops in one of these little guys and then fill the rest with olive oil or coconut oil and just let them try it. Let them see what it's all about. I mean, and if you work or you travel and you don't want to take your glass bottle and risk losing it or breaking it, just take it with you, put it in your pocket. I carry them with me everywhere. And then you get 2 samples of the Ninja. Is it Ninja?
Ninja.
Yeah. Our wolfberry superfood drink. He's absolutely amazing. So you get 2 samples of that, 2 2-ounce samples, and then a sample of the Thieves Cleaner. And this is a concentrate. So this makes what, 30 ounces?
Yeah, big spray bottle of it.
Yeah, like it was way bigger than my spray bottle. So I had to get a jug thing for mine. And then one of these roller caps. Hold on. First of all. Oh, wow. So this little thing on your essential oil bottles, you take the cap off, you have this little orifice guy, and that prevents your oil from dumping out, right? Like when you tip it, you just get a drop. If you can pluck that out with your fingernail, or something else, this thing right here pops right into it and turns your bottle straight into a roll-on. Yeah, that. And so you get lots of little extras in your starter kit as well. I don't know if you guys, can you see my diffuser? I've got it on candle clicker back here. So the starter kit comes with your diffuser, your 11 oils, and your sample of these and your samples of the Ninja Red. But with all of that, I'm going to go ahead and, Kirsten, if you want to go ahead and take over real quick.
Jenna had a couple of questions. She's typing in chat. She said, which is better for sinuses, peppermint or Raven? I would say that that's pretty individual. They're both going to be really, really good for sinuses, and it's just depending on the person. So usually if I try one and I'm like, that's not quite hitting the spot, then I'll try the other. But they're both going to be really, really good. It's kind of like having 2 fruits that both have vitamin C in them, or different people's bodies respond differently to different oils, and so there's not a one size fits all answer. Both of those are really good for sinuses. Both of those are really good for respiratory support. And so you just want to try them both and see which one your body responds to better. It's also really a good idea to rotate through different oils, just because if you use the same thing day in, day out, your body can become a little bit more resistant to it. Just like if you eat the same thing for breakfast every single day, sometimes you can develop food intolerances. It's a good idea to rotate through. And she said for headaches. So officially we cannot treat or cure headaches. We just have to be careful about what we talk about. But I find that peppermint is, unofficially, I find peppermint to be wonderful on my head. I have to dilute it a little bit because it's a little too strong for my skin, but I will massage it and it's amazing. Another thing I do sometimes is I will put, for whatever reason, if I will soak my feet in salt water and peppermint, it pulls the energy down out of my head, and that is another thing that can be so soothing. Oh, you wanted me to take over. Sorry, I got distracted.
I had to want to handle something really fast. I'm back. And we were talking about.
So for this next. Yeah, I answered those questions to the best of my ability. Do you want me to continue on?
Unofficially.
All right.
I love it, Jenna.
Do you want me to continue on?
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about like EPA and what's regulated and what's not as far as the chemicals in our, just the normal stuff you buy at the grocery store or the drugstore,
yeah.
Walmart or whatever.
Sure. So I have some notes written down, and I like to read these because there's a lot of stats and numbers in them that I'll never get right myself. So basically, I like to get real with people at the end of a class before wrapping up and tell the reason that I teach so emphatically about getting rid of chemicals is because I've seen what the other side of chemical-free living is. And I have friends that have personally died of cancer. I have friends whose children have had brain tumors. I have friends whose families have suffered. And I've seen what chemical exposure can do in the harm. And so that's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about educating about it and making sure that people know that they have other options for clean living and that they don't have to have chemical exposure.
So
the number 2
believe in
cause of
body
death.
burden? Sorry.
What's that?
I didn't realize there was such a delay. I was going to say, so body burden. Like when my husband hears me say that,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real thing. It's like an accumulation of.
It is. Yeah, it accumulates in your body. There's bioaccumulation, and it is starting to rain on me. You know what? You have my notes from this page. I want you to read these notes while I pack up and go get in my car because it's crazy here. So
Right.
I'm gonna call, but I'm gonna let you read my notes from this page.
Too funny.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to talk about the National Institute of Occupational Health and Safety. 2,983 ingredients in the United States are used in our cleaning products, and 884 of those are found to be extremely toxic. 314 of those cause biological mutations. This is in like lab studies they've done. 218 were found to cause reproductive problems. 778 were toxic to the human body. 146 of these chemicals were linked to the causation of cancerous tumors. However, they were allowed in the United States and allowed to be used ungoverned, unregulated in our chemicals, our cleaning supplies, beauty supplies in the United States, even though they were banned in Europe and other countries around the world. So things that you have under your cabinets right now have been absolutely linked to restless sleep, anxiety, acne, cancer, tumors, you name it. It's insane. And we already talked about the number of chemicals a woman applies to her body a day. So when you think about those kind of chemicals and what they've been proven to cause and that have been banned in other countries, why is the United States still allowing that to happen? I don't know. But now that you know and you are empowered with this information, it's important you make a decision. And those of you that already have a kit already made a good step. Now we need to talk about kind of replacing some of the stuff that you have in your cabinets and under your cabinets with better alternatives. So I think, Kirsten, did you make it to your vehicle safely? Yes, no, maybe. So also the most dangerous chemicals, let's talk about that. There she is. The most dangerous chemicals that we have in our home. This is according to the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency's top 10 killer household chemical study. Are you with me, Kirsten? Good. Laundry soap and fabric softener, guys. Are you there, Kirsten? You good? Here she is. All right. Hairsprays, gels, shampoos, stuff that we don't think about being toxic or poisonous. You know, we think we're cleaning our teeth and we're just brushing our teeth and rinsing and spitting. Well, remember that those ingredients in that toothpaste, they're being absorbed into your bloodstream, right? They're being absorbed into your bloodstream within 26 seconds. And they have been linked to causing all kinds of issues, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. So the laundry soap and fabric softener, the stuff you wash your clothes in, the stuff is sitting on your skin, and that, you know, you put your shirt on and you're like, oh, my shirt still smells fresh. You're smelling those chemicals. You're smelling that residual perfume, and you're putting that into your body. You're inhaling that. You're putting that straight into your lungs. Over 100,000 chemicals authorized for the use of these types of products in our homes. It's really upsetting when I think about my children and what, you know, I would like washing my baby clothes and baby blankets. and without getting too personal about like the history of like one of my kids having eczema and one of them having like constant sniffing and sneezing allergy problems. I did not really know I was doing that to my own children. That's a whole different thing though, but I didn't know. And now that I know, like we'll never go back in this house. Like I'm no more candles, no more plug-ins, no more Tide, Dawn, all of that stuff. I just Kirsten, are you with me? You want to chime in on the chemicals?
Yeah, and the thing is that most people's bodies are chemically overloaded and they don't even realize it because people are so used to feeling crappy. People, like, everyone either has or knows someone who has allergies, eczema, skin problems, hormone problems, breathing problems, digestive issues, and those are all caused by chemical overload, and people just assume that it's normal. But just because it's really, really common and everyone else you know has chemical overload too does not make it normal. And when you start to eliminate these chemicals and you start to recover your health and realize like, oh, it's not normal to have brain fog. Oh, it's not normal to have these skin issues. Oh, it's not normal to have an upset stomach. Like, it's amazing what happens when we start to reclaim our health and when we become the gatekeepers of our own home. So that's what we invite people to do, is to like kick those chemicals to the curb and embrace a healthier lifestyle. When I got invited to my first class and I got my starter kit, I began one thing at a time. Like, I wasn't able to like throw everything out, like gather it all up and toss it in the garbage. But one item at a time, I started with my laundry soap. I switched over to good laundry soap. Then I switched over to a good dish soap. And then I switched over to make sure that my cleaner was good. Like, one thing at a time, I created new good habits. And so that's what we do. And we invite people to learn alongside, our community. And we guide people through the process of simply eliminating toxins and using essential oil-based products to clean their home and to use the body products and to use for health reasons, and get started with this healthier lifestyle. It's really pretty easy. You just go to youngliving.com. There's basically two ways that you can get essential oils. You can either, if there's one thing you want, you can go buy it retail. But what most people do is that they get the premium starter kit that we just showed you. It comes with all 11 oils, all those extra goodies that Gina pulled out, and a diffuser. And then it's all bundled together. It's like $300 worth of stuff for only $160. It's such an amazing deal. You just go to youngliving.com. You would take Gina's number, or whoever invited you to this class, and you put the number in, and you just get like wholesale membership, and then you get to choose which diffuser you want. There's some really, really pretty ones, all different kinds. And then you just fill out your personal information. And what this does basically is it's like a Costco membership. When you go to Costco, you pay like $50 or $100 for the privilege of shopping their wholesale for a year. With Young Living, it's even better value. You basically, instead of paying a fee for the privilege of shopping there, you buy a kit, you get a bunch of stuff in your kit, and then you have a lifetime membership and lifetime access to getting 24% off. Plus, as part of our team, you get access to all of our exclusive team classes, content in Facebook groups and support groups. We make sure you're provided with some kind of reference guide or an app or something to answer all of your questions and look things up. And it's just amazing to be able to have someone hold your hand and be like, let me show you. Like, I've done this. Let me teach you. And Gina's an amazing person for that because she has a ton of nutritional, personal training experience. Like, she has so much more to offer than the average person. And she has a lot of essential oil experience too. So anyway, you'd be in really, really good hands. I got lost in my notes. I don't even know where I am anymore. But this is something that I really encourage people to take seriously because most Americans have a tendency to do two things. They have a tendency to live paycheck to paycheck, and they have a tendency to live illness to illness. And it's like they wait until they get sick to be like, oh, what can we take really quick that's going to make us healthy? And good health doesn't work that way. Good health is creating an environment where your body can thrive. And we often want to put that on the back burner and be like, oh, well, maybe next month, maybe next year I'll get healthy. But what happens is that those weeks and months and years slip away, and suddenly we have lost all of this time, and we feel terrible and crappy, and we've raised our kids to start feeling terrible and crappy, and they have all of these health problems and we don't know where they came from. And this is our opportunity to stop that cycle and to give our families a chance to live vibrant, healthy lives.
I agree. That whole waiting until you get sick and wanting to do something. Yeah. Prevention instead of curing, right? That's Karen saying prevention instead of curing. But even when there are illnesses and ailments going on, a lot of it is reversible and fixable with time and patience. So, but that was great. I hope, I know we kept everybody longer than we were planning, but it looks like we've got my mother-in-law, my mom, and my friend Sarah, 2 doors down, they're left hanging in here, and they all have a kit. So, but for those that may watch it later that don't yet have a kit, I guess I will post this later, and I will post a link directly to ordering a kit. And of course, anyone's always welcome to reach out to me with any questions about what to do with a specific oil, or what to do about a specific problem, or ideas on how to make your own products, face creams and serums and body balms and whipped body butters and all kinds of stuff, like groom sprays and chapsticks and all kinds of stuff. So I've done almost everything I can think of. I'm sure there's something I'm missing, but the biggest thing is baby steps, right? So we don't want you to throw out everything in your cabinet. I think I did that, but I'm okay with that. But a lot of people aren't ready to just do that, and that's okay too.
And that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons that I really like our subscription program, is because if you're wanting to take baby steps, we have the Essential Rewards program, which is basically a subscription box. And that way, if you're wanting to take slow baby steps, you can be like, okay, I'm going to do the subscription box, which is $50 a month. Or you agree to order $50 a month. It doesn't cost $50 a month just to participate, but you agree to order $50 a month, and they start off at 10% back, and then after 4 months it jumps up to 20% back, and it's flat rate shipping. And so you can be like, okay, this month I'm going to get good laundry soap and good dish soap, but I'm going to replace my lavender. Okay, next month I'm going to get new skincare stuff for my face. Okay, next month I'm going to get the cleaner and the toothpaste. And it allows you just a little bit at a time to replace the toxic stuff with good stuff in a really affordable way. And then after a few months, you've got all these points that you get to get free stuff and, get more goodies. So It's really the most affordable way to do it, because you can trust every single product versus when you go to Target and most of the stuff is full of fragrance and nasty chemicals.
Yeah. Well, this was fun.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for spending an hour with me and with us, and through all the drag racing and rain in the background.
I just never know where I'm going to be teaching, because we travel full time, for those that don't know, and I never know. Sometimes I have like a wonderful venue to teach from, and other times I end up at a coffee shop on a busy road, and it's like, well, there I am.
Love it. I love it. One of these days I'm going to be on that big red school bus hanging out. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we will just ask if there's any questions at this point. I guess you can raise your little hand, do guy over there. Is anybody? Lily, you have any questions? Mom, are you still with us? Sarah?
I don't have any questions.
You don't? Are you waiting until you come visit for all your questions?
Yes. If I have time.
You're going to be babysitting. All right. Mom.
I'm
She's sleeping.
I'm confused.
You're confused.
Not with what you said, it's with this iPhone. I lost your picture. I don't know what happened.
I'm here. I can hear
I
you.
know you're here, but I can't find you. Okay. It was very informative and very interesting. Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
Do you have any, or is your diffuser going now, Mom?
Not at the moment. It went off, but it's
Oh,
getting close to bedtime anyway.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, take it to bed with you.
All right.
Lily?
All right.
All right. Thank you, Gina.
All right.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye, Amy.
Bye.
Good night.
Everybody.
Bye.
Sarah, did you have anything? Sarah?
But you guys did great. It was very informative. Like she previously just stated, I actually have my diffuser going right now as we speak, and I
Nice.
learned a lot, and it was a really solid presentation.
Thanks. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying and using your diffuser. Please come see me. You're 2 doors down, or text me anytime. Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, hun. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Good night.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.